How's it going, everybody? Welcome to We Do Tech. Now, in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about something that I've wanted to go over for quite a while now, and that is what is going to happen to the PC gaming GPU market if this crazy GPU price increase is going to go on. Now, if you guys don't know, which a lot of you probably guys will, of course, is that GPU prices have been increasing like crazy in this last year and a half. This is mostly to do because of the cryptocurrency market, with cryptocurrency mining. In 2017, we saw like a massive boom in the value of cryptocurrencies, especially in Bitcoin and Ethereum, where it made like people millionaires overnight. And a lot of people got into that now, especially being that profitable to mine just by using your normal gaming graphics cards. But in turn, because of the entire hype and because it was so profitable to mine, everybody bought up all of the GPUs, and they would pay double what the GPU is actually worth to get the card, and that in turn led to a shortage in supply and also a massive hike in price. Now, I have already made a dedicated video on if I think the GPU prices will go down in 2018. So if you want to learn a bit more about that, you can follow the links in the video description. But in short, I don't really think so. With the memory pricing going up and a lot more devices needing more memory, like phones. I mean, phones are going up to 8 gigs now. That's crazy. So that is bringing up the prices quite a lot, and the GPU shortage, we're seeing GPU prices going up of more than 100 to 250% of the original MSRP. And with that, we saw in 2017 that over 3 million GPUs were sold to cryptocurrency miners. Now, that is mostly to do with the massive big farms instead of the smaller guys with about, let's say, 10 GPUs or so. So we can predict that it would have been actually a lot more than over 3 million. And to think those 3 million GPUs would have kind of gone for gamers instead of the miners. So there are a lot of gamers that are unhappy about this. Also, because of the massive increase in pricing and the lack of stock, it kind of makes it impossible for gamers to build up a budget gaming system with, let's say, a GTX 1060 or even a 1050 Ti. The prices has just gone up too much, and if you're looking at building a SLI system with something like 2 GTX 1080 Ti's, that is going to be impossible with just a single card going to cost more than almost the entire rest of the system. So 2 is kind of impossible. And we are also predicted to see that the new GTX 2000 series, especially the GTX 2080, which is going to release somewhere in June or July, is going to cost between $1,200 to $1,500. So that is over 2 to 2.5 times the original MSRP of what the GTX 1080 went for when it launched. Now, before continuing with the video, I just wanted to make it clear that yes, I did also mine cryptocurrencies while I was mining. I was able to actually afford this lens you're watching it now, and I also made a bunch of cryptocurrency mining videos, which are the most watched on this channel. Now, that doesn't mean that I support everything that is going on. I did make these videos. It was interesting when it started out, and I still believe in the blockchain technology, within it having a lot of good and positive possibilities that we can use it for, like building a community-based supercomputer. I will make a video on some good possibilities that can come out of this blockchain technology, so I'm gonna make a video on that. But I am still a gamer by heart, even though I still like the technology behind the blockchain. But like you guys know, I mainly make peripheral videos and some hardware videos, so that is still my main focus. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. But now the main question is, what is going to happen to the gaming market and to the GPU market if the price increase of GPUs just keep going up? Is it the end of PC gaming? Should everybody just switch to consoles then? Or are there some other possibilities that the manufacturers can implement? or are there some other options that we as consumers have to still be able to play games? So that is what I want to go over with you guys today, and just share my opinions and hopefully possibilities that we can see in the future if this keeps going on. Okay, so first up, the two first solutions that I think that the manufacturers can implement, namely Nvidia and AMD, is first up bringing out a firmware update. Now this is a bit tricky because there's always going to be a workaround around it, and somebody is going to be able to do it. But I think if they can implement this, it would be very beneficial. So if they bring out an update and preventing the GPUs from working properly on some of the mining software like Claymore, if they pick that up and they see that they are running a cryptocurrency algorithm or so on, that they slow down the GPU and prevent it from mining at its full potential. So that is one possibility. And the second one would be that Nvidia or AMD actually makes it illegal to use gaming GPUs, especially their GeForce range, to mine cryptocurrencies. Now you guys might be thinking this is absurd, how can they do that? Well, Nvidia did actually ban the use of their GeForce series in data centers. So they did this a while back, where they did ban like the massive data centers to use their gaming range for their calculations. So they wanted to only let them use their Tesla range, and sometimes even their Quadro range. So that is one possibility they can implement. Now, it's still not going to prevent the entire mining community to stop using gaming graphics cards. For the smaller guys, it's not going to be possible, but I do think as for some of the bigger companies, some of them like in Iceland, there's massive farms over there. If they can implement this and they actually find out that those companies are using their GPUs to mine cryptocurrencies, they can sue them, and potentially that's going to scare them off. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, because Nvidia and AMD is seeing a massive increase in profits because all of the GPUs are just selling out completely. There's more demand than supply, which is usually a good thing, because then they can also ask a bit more if they wanted to. So that is, I don't really think they are going to implement these, but it is a possibility if they wanted to. And then next up is some other hardware options we as consumers can go for if you are looking to buy a gaming system. So first up is to go for APUs. Now the main ones at the moment is of course the Ryzen 2200G and the 2400G. Now those are very budget, they are not meant for any high-end gaming, but if you are looking to just get a good budget 1080p gaming system, then these APUs are quite good. Now again, these GPUs aren't meant for high-end gaming, but you are able to play mid to high 1080p gaming at 30 to 60 FPS. Now there are also some other factors that you have to keep in mind if you are going to go for these 2200G and the 2400G. Some motherboards work better than others, and they also like fast memory, and also some other brands that work better on, so you have to keep that in mind. Now as for the 2200G, that one is retailing for around 1,500 Rand on Rebeltech here in South Africa, or $99 on Amazon. So it is a very, very budget. And then as for the 2400G, that one is going for around 2,500 Rand on Rebeltech here in South Africa, or $169 on Amazon. So if we just quickly look at just those compared to some of the graphics cards, now these APUs are more compared against like a GTX 1030 and then also sometimes a GTX 1050. So comparing these Ryzen APUs to some of the graphics cards, we can look at the Gigabyte GT 1030 OC 2GB, which is retailing for around 1,500 Rand on Rebeltech here in South Africa, or around $110 to $120 on Amazon if you can actually find stock. And then as for a Gigabyte GTX 1050 OC, that is going for around 2,600 Rand on Rebeltech, or $155 on Amazon. So just by that, we can see that the GTX 1030 is already more than a Ryzen 2200G. So that is already more, and though the 2200G is a bit weaker than the 1030 in gaming performance, you are getting a CPU and a GPU in one package, so you do save quite a lot there. And then comparing the 2400G to the 1050 does deliver much better graphics, but you have to calculate that still in that you get a CPU and a GPU instead of just a GPU. So that is a possible solution if you are looking for an entire budget gaming system. These APUs are quite a good option for those. Now, it would be nice if AMD did bring out something like the 2700G. That is going to be a lot stronger than the 2400G, with a predicted probably something above a GTX 1050 perhaps. That will be really cool, and that is going to make it a very good addition to a budget gaming system. And then next up, one that I'm actually really looking forward to seeing on the market is the Intel and Vega chips. So as you guys probably know, this kind of sounds weird, but we have covered it in some of the tech news videos where Intel and AMD did partner up to create a single processing chip, with Intel doing the CPU side and AMD doing the GPU side. Now, we haven't really seen a lot of examples of these CPUs in action, but we have seen it at CES 2018, where it was showed off in the Intel Hades Canyon NUC. Now, this NUC is a custom design by Intel with their own custom motherboard. There's no word yet on if this is going to be a customizable system for, let's say, gaming. If you just want to buy a different motherboard and you'll be able to buy the CPU separately, there's no word on that yet. It would be quite an option if we can go for that, but at the moment there's no word on that yet. But now, as for this NUC, it's already a super small system with a TDP ranging between 65 to 100 watts depending on what CPU model you go for. But these are quite good in gaming, especially for the size. You're looking at 1080p gaming at high to ultra settings at 60 FPS. And some of the games you're even able to play at 1440p 60 FPS, which is kind of crazy. So again, like I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing these CPUs in action. Now, the benchmarks that was shown is from a Chinese site, so we don't know if it's really that legit. But we should be seeing them coming out pretty soon, where we'll probably see Linus Tech Tips doing a review on them, and then we will see how they actually perform in real world. But they are looking quite up to the task, and if an Intel does bring out the option of doing them with custom systems, or perhaps bring out different CPUs where they have these integrated Vega graphics, then that is also going to be a very good option if you're looking for a mid-tier gaming system. We're not at the high point yet, but for 1080p gaming at 60 FPS and even some 1440p depending on the game, then these CPUs are going to perform quite well. We don't have the exact price yet, but we should again be seeing some more information coming out about these in the near future. And then as for the next solution, I'm not really sure if I can call it a solution, but it is a possibility that it can decrease the amount of gaming GPUs being sold, and that is a dedicated GPU mining cards. Now, we are seeing them more and more now. We've already had the GTX 1066 gig variant with a lot of them being sold, with I think over 300,000 around there being sold. I'm not exactly sure on that number, but we're also seeing now that Nvidia is bringing out a GTX 1080 Ti dedicated mining variant of the card. Now, like I mentioned, I'm not too sure how I feel about this, because I'm not sure how exactly it works. If Nvidia is still using the exact same chip that they would use in a gaming version of the GTX 1080 Ti, or it's a chip that didn't perform as well that they cannot use in the gaming versions of the GTX 1080 Ti's. If it's those, then I can understand and I'm fine with that if they use the faulty chips instead of the good gaming chips, because these mining cards are stripped down versions of the original cards, with the GTX 1080 Ti variant actually having a less memory than the original one at about 5 gigs. And then also it doesn't have any display outputs, and then also it isn't as fast with only 3200 CUDA cores instead of the 3500. Not exactly on the number, but around there. So again, if it is a weaker version, a faulty version of those chips, then by all means go for that Nvidia. If it helps lower the amount of gaming GPUs being sold, then I would say go for that. But now, not all of the miners is going for these dedicated mining cards. Yes, they are cheaper, but you can't really resell them afterwards, because usually they only have a 3 to 6 month warranty with them. So if something goes wrong after that, then you throw the card away. It's not really worth it. If you have a gaming graphics card, after 6 months you can still sell it and get a lot of your money back. And even after that, you can still sell the card and get some of your money back. So again, this could be something that helps out the gaming market, but I'm not too exactly sure if it is going to be a positive thing. And then lastly is the thing that I don't really want to happen is, but everybody moves to console gaming. And that is if everything just keeps going on the way it is and we don't see any of the prices decrease or these APUs get stronger, then that is going to be the only solution. Because now with consoles, we are seeing that with the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, where you're able to play 4K at 30 FPS, which isn't too bad really. And for the price, I mean, the Xbox One X 1TB version is going for about 8,000 Rand here in South Africa, or about $500 in US. And then as for the PS4 Pro 1TB version, that one is also going for about 8,000 Rand and only $400 on Amazon. So that is crazy low for what you get, especially compared to PC gaming now. PC gaming has always been more expensive, but now it's just gotten way out of hand. So again, I'm really not happy about this. I am a PC master race guy. I've never owned a console or anything, so I don't really want this to happen. I want to still be able to play my insane gaming system. As you guys can see, it just looks so beautiful. So I still want to be able to do that, but if the prices increase as it is doing, then that is going to be one of the only possible options we have, actually. So yeah, that is my opinion on all of this that is going on at the moment. Now, again, I'm not too crazy about what is going on. I still want to be able to play all of my games and everything, but yeah, this is a problem at the moment. And let's say the cryptocurrency mining bubble bursts, what is going to happen then? There's a lot of stuff that could be good, but could also be bad. So I am also planning to make a dedicated video on that, just to share my thoughts with you guys. So with all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment like always. Also, if you guys have any thoughts on this, please let me know in the comments down below. I know this video is going to get a lot of hate because I also mined, and it is everything is my fault and all of that, but I just want to share my thoughts with you guys. So again, if you guys like, then awesome. I will also see you guys in the next video. So I'll check you guys next time. Cheers, guys.